What's the dream of every investor? To find that one stock that doesn't just double or triple but multiplies your initial investment by 100 times. A 100 bagger. It sounds like a fantasy, right? But what if I told you it's not only possible, but it has happened many times before? And what if I told you there's a book that breaks down exactly how to find them? This is 100 Baggers by Chris Mayer, and it's not just another book on stock picking, it's a deep dive into the DNA of extraordinary returns, revealing the surprisingly simple, yet powerful principles behind some of the greatest investment successes in history. Chris Mayer, inspired by the legendary Thomas Phelps book, 100 to 1 in the stock market, set out to study companies that had achieved this incredible feat. He wasn't looking for a magic formula, but for common characteristics. The recurring patterns that turn a small investment into a life-changing fortune. So what did he find? Let's break down some of the key takeaways. First, and arguably most important, is the power of compounding. This isn't just about finding a company that's growing fast, it's about holding on to it for a very, very long time. Mayer shows that it takes a long time for a stock to go from $1 to $100. We're talking years, often decades. Think about it. A company growing its earnings by just 20% a year for 25 years will compound into a 95 bagger. A 20% annual growth sustained for decades is where the magic happens. Second, Mayer talks about what he calls high horsepower businesses. These aren't your average companies. They have certain qualities that allow them to grow for years without hitting a wall. What are these qualities? Strong, scalable business model, a long runway for growth, high returns on capital. Think of a company with a strong brand, a massive addressable market, and a business model that doesn't require huge amounts of capital to expand. Mayer also emphasizes a crucial yet often overlooked factor, the role of the CEO. He calls this the owner-operator effect. When the CEO has a significant ownership stake in the company, their interests are directly aligned with shareholders. They're not just working for a salary, they're working to grow their own wealth alongside yours. This skin in the game is a powerful motivator. But what's the one thing that separates the winners from everyone else? It's not about being a genius, it's about patience. Mayer identifies what he calls the twin engines of a 100 bagger. First, there's earning power. Second is multiple expansion. Earning power, businesses with high returns on capital, strong competitive advantages, what Buffett calls a moat, and a huge market to grow into. Multiple expansion. The market starts to appreciate the company more and pays a higher multiple for its earnings over time. Earnings growth plus multiple expansion is where you get a compounding effect on top of compounding. But here's the most difficult part, and it's something Mayer comes back to again and again, the human element. We are our own worst enemies. The greatest challenge to making 100 times your money isn't finding the right stock, it's holding on to it. Think about it. A stock goes up 50% and you feel smart. You want to lock in your gains. It doubles and you feel like a genius, and the urge to sell is even stronger. But every time you sell, you cut off the compounding engine just as it's getting warmed up. Mayer's research shows it takes an average of 25 years for a stock to become a 100 bagger. That means enduring years of market downturns and periods where the stock goes nowhere. It's a test of patience, discipline, and conviction. This brings us to a concept popularized by another legendary investor, but a perfect fit for Mayer's philosophy, the coffee can portfolio. The idea is simple: find a few great companies, metaphorically put their stock certificates in a coffee can, and don't look at them for a decade or two. The goal is to avoid the urge to fiddle, to trade, to panic. Just let time and the power of compounding do the heavy lifting. It asks for conviction, not constant attention. So what are the actionable steps? What do we look for? Look for small caps with a long runway. It's easier for a $100 million company to become a $10 billion company than it is for a $100 billion company to become a $10 trillion one. Mayer emphasizes that the greatest returns often come from companies that are flying under the radar. Seek out owner-operators. Does the CEO have significant skin in the game? Are they a founder or a family member who treats the business like it's their own? Prioritize high returns on capital. A business that can consistently reinvest its profits back into the company at a high rate of return is a true compounder. These three filters, small caps with runway, owner-operators, and high returns on capital, help narrow the search to the companies most likely to compound over decades. Mayer's research proves that 100 baggers are not about trading in and out of stocks. They are about finding a great business, buying it, and then doing nothing. The biggest enemy of compounding is constant activity. The urge to sell a stock just because it's up 50% or 100% is what prevents investors from achieving the truly spectacular returns. This is the philosophy at the heart of Chris Mayer's 100 Baggers. It's a book about finding that 1 in a million stock that multiplies your money by 100 times, a 100 bagger. But more than that, it's a book about the mindset required to actually achieve that dream. It teaches you to focus on the business, not the stock price, to look for quality, not just a quick gain. Chris Mayer didn't invent the term 100 bagger. He was inspired by a classic 100 to 1 in the stock market by Thomas Phelps. Mayer's work is a modern update, a deep dive into the hundreds of companies that have achieved this feat since Phelps wrote his book. What he found were not magic formulas but a set of common traits like fingerprints left at the scene of a remarkable success. Even if you never find a true 100 bagger, the lessons in this book will fundamentally change how you invest. They will help you find companies that are 10 baggers or 20 baggers and keep you from selling them for a quick buck. They will help you find true financial independence. If you like this video, click like and subscribe.